Alright, welcome back to the SuperCoach Nuff channel. In this video we're going to do our round 18 preview alongside the round 17 review for SuperCoach NBL. And so what turned out to be another really good week for us with 454, which was top 1% for the round, so actually 215 was the rank. And as you can see, we're still moving up in the overall. So obviously the teams at the top end of town are still doing quite well. But I believe that does have us in the top 6% now. So we're pushing for top 5%. That's the goal. And we are edging ever closer to it. But we'll have a look at the team and how they went. So we VC'd Creek and looked like we probably got that decision slightly wrong given he scored 89. Lamb with 57 was a good result. Valentine with 55 on the bench was also a nice get. Krislovic with the 3, he's just doing his best. Froling with a 42 was solid enough, has dipped a bit in price, but we'll talk about him a bit more in a minute. Gak with an 8, again, just sort of making up numbers on the bench. We captained Cotton with a 66, so I guess after Creek that was the best score. He has dipped a little bit in price as well. Jackson Cartwright with the 60, really solid return from him. Could have got Adams on field for an extra point, but you know, that's fine. We'll cop 31 points on the bench. And Armstrong with an 18 was also a very solid effort. So I guess also we should probably have a look at the results. So did get up in both leagues, but I guess the one we're more interested in is our Nuffs League. So a comfortable win over the ball handlers in the end. So just having a look, so the captain Adams, which I guess probably wasn't as fruitful. Clark with 64 was solid, but after that, you know, Doyle was disappointing. Considering they had a single, Cal 18, so what's that, 36 I suppose he scored. Yeah, so not bad points on the bench, but just I guess probably had a couple more big hitters in my starting 5. And in the sort of knockout final, Woozy's 5 getting the win over the One-Eyed Eagle. Looks like captaincy choice was massive, so Cotton over Lamb. Had Mitch Creek as well, so yeah, you know, if the VC had been the captain, it would have been around the other way. So again, probably players we've all talked about so far. No one else overly noteworthy there. So, and if we forward to this week, so the matchups between Matt and Mark. So good luck to you guys. But what that does do is give us a bit of a luxury to look a bit forward. So we do have our semi-final in round 19, and then hopefully all things going to plan the final in round 20. So this week we've got Tasmania and Adelaide on the double. Everyone else has a single, so that's probably why the projected score is quite low. If we have a look at round 19, so we've got New Zealand and Illawarra on the double. So Lamb, Froling, Jackson Cartwright. We're going to try and hold these guys because they're going to become very handy in that double game week. We don't want to have to waste a trade bringing them back in. And then in round 20, again, Illawarra and New Zealand with the double. So, you know, really wanting to hang on to these guys. But then also Perth. So there's an argument for hanging on to Cotton if we can. And then also Melbourne, but we currently don't have any Melbourne players in our squad. So that could potentially be a team we target in that last round. So in terms of this week and the moves that we make, you know, given Creek carved up with 89, we'll see if we can hang on to him. I think what we can try and do is get out of the two Sydney assets, so Adams and Valentine. And then in terms of who we trade in, um, I think we go with one of the Tasmanian guards. We could go with Kell from Adelaide. He's someone we haven't really looked at this season. Um, and I guess just looking at the averages, although this is probably pumped up a bit by the doubles that Adelaide have had. Um, we could go there, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go Doyle, and because what that does is actually free up enough money if we swing one of our forwards back to bring back in Humphreys. So from Adelaide, so he has scored pretty well for us in the past few weeks. 16 last week's a bit flat, but we can sort of bring in those couple of decent scorers um, into our team, and we can access their double game week this week. Um, Actually, I guess before we lock that in, we can have a look at the options if we were to go with Kel. So if we go with Kel, it sort of does price us out of Humphreys. Um, who plays centre for Tasmania? Marcus Lee doesn't look that fantastic. Will Magnay might even be the guy. 280 we could afford, so perhaps that's an option. So that's probably the other way we go. I'll just put him in so you can see what it looks like. So we could play Magnay um, as well and Kel. So now I'm really not sure. Let's cancel. Let's see what the crowd has to say. So it looks like Magnay and Kel. Doyle's the next most popular option after that. So I don't think we were too far wrong with our shouts. It's just which way we want to go. Maybe break evens. What was his name? Humphreys. It's his break even. 75 is a bit high. Just have a look at Cal's stats. So, well, it says he only. Yeah, this is what's tricky. It's always hard when you got. Says he got 35, but he clearly played 2 games. Oh no, he must have played 1 game. That's right. It's played 2 games there. So what's the PPM? It's hard to calculate at this time of the day. So 1.5, 1 point. So well over 1 point per minute, which is nice. Magnay, we'll have a look at him. So good points per minute, just not a lot of minutes recently. So that's a concern. If we go with Humphreys again, so probably you could say averaging about 1, given that sort of boom round there. And then Doyle is the last one. It's a bit below 1, perhaps. Alright, no, so I think what we're going to do, just I guess probably the captaincy upside trumps it. If I can get rid of Valentine. Any fear, there we go. So what we'll do is we'll bring in Kel and Magnay as the combination. And I guess the main purpose for that is we're going to go with Kel as our captain this week. So obviously, targeting the double, or actually, I've just thought of a third option. Okay, let's get out of it. Confirm. So I reckon maybe if Cotton's on the way out, well, his break even's not bad, but they do only have the single, so he will drop in price. And that double's not till round 20, so we can definitely bring him back in later, we hope. So we'll bring in Kel. Oops. Um, and then if we get out of Adams, I think is well, actually we might be able to do it with Valentine. We'll try it. Valentine out. Can we get Humphreys? Yes, we can. So we could go with the two Adelaide guys, perhaps, is the third option. It does make it a bit trickier to get Cotton back in later, though, is the concern. Cancel that. So a few people, yes, people bringing in Magnay, so there's probably something to that. Again, we're not big fans of NBL. We're just following the money trail essentially. So we'll get rid of the two Sydney boys and bring in Cal. If I can find him, I've gone too far clearly. So Cal and Magnay, where are you? There you are. Brilliant. So lock them away. So then we'll just swing Magnay into the centre position. Probably start him since he's got the double. Just have a little meltdown at SuperCoach land. Oh, I didn't want to trade. Got that all wrong. Wanted the substitute. There we go. So slow, not responding. There we are. So put him on the starting team. No, it didn't work. Yep, there we go. So I guess just in terms of our other starters, I've got to bring Cal on. Any fear of working? Here we go. So Perth's at home to New Zealand. A bit of a trip for the New Zealand boys. So might get Cal on with Cotton. Obviously, we're captaining Cal. Mitch Creek's playing in the Melbourne Derby, so we'll guess we're not going to start one of these guys. We may want to start Froling though against Brisbane. Maybe not given the averages, so we might leave as is. We'll VC Cotton playing at home against New Zealand. Again, it's only if Cal completely misses that we're going to worry about that anyway. And so that's probably the team and how it's going to line up this week. So as always, if there's any questions, comments, thoughts, feel free to get them down below the video. If you're enjoying the NBL stuff, remember to give the video a like. Subscribe for all the fantasy content, along with all the other subscribers that have got on recently. Admittedly, more for the NRL stuff, probably maybe a bit of AFL sprinkled in. But thanks anyway, guys, and catch you in the next one.